Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back for another Transformers Legacy action figure review, and today we're going to be reviewing the Legacy Commander class MotorMaster. MotorMaster! Master! And now taking a look at the packaging, MotorMaster here has this huge piece of brilliant artwork of him in his vehicle mode, and you can see some of the other Stunticons in the background. And then here on the side, we got a nice image of Menasor there on the back. This typical Legacy artwork, authentic Transformers! And I just wanted to make it clear, we're only going to be taking a look at all of this stuff. The Combine mode and stuff I'm going to save for when I actually review the Combiner separately. So just making that clear right now. Now, normally this is where I start taking a look at the accessories, but because this guy comes packed in his vehicle mode and the accessories are packed in the trailer, we're going to have to work our way to them. So, starting off with the vehicle, I like the way how the truck came out. It is very reminiscent of Nemesis Prime. A lot of people have pointed out how MotorMaster looks a lot like Nemesis Prime, but I feel like this guy has made himself quite unique to his own design, that he is able to live without having to live off of the evil Optimus Prime look, even though he really does look like it. But again, I love the purple and the black. That dark metallic silver looks very nice. Those bits of white look a little out of place, but it's not that big an issue. The Decepticon logo, and there's the robot mode chest, which actually doesn't look too distracting on the back. And the truck mode's actually really solid. I like how well it rolls, and all the detail on it is done perfectly. And then taking a look at the trailer here, this is obviously that Menasor chest right there, but other than that, everything else looks pretty closed in and compact. There are bits of purple panels going all throughout, but I think it just kind of blends in with the purple stripe and the Decepticon logo. This does feature a little hinging, the little kickstand right there, so you can have this stand up without the MotorMaster, but the problem is, because of just the sheer weight of this trailer, it falls over way too easily, as well as these tire panels right here. These untab way too easily. I'll just be messing around, and all of a sudden, yeah, these don't really hold up the trailer all that well, because there's just that much dents and weight in this giant brick. And before we start taking apart the trailer, I did want to go over the size comparisons. Here is MotorMaster compared with the last Legacy Autobot I reviewed, Impactor. Oh, look who's back. What do you know? Look who's making another appearance. Here is MotorMaster compared to, Jack. Hey, Jack. Hey, Jack, look at the audience. Over here. Hi. Hi. Say hi to the audience. Anyway, here's MotorMaster compared next to the Impactor and the G2 Leadfoot from those previous Legacy figures I reviewed. And then here is MotorMaster with the Legacy Drag Strip, the only other Stunticon we have so far. So anyway, let's just get right on into MotorMaster and his trailer. Now, getting into the accessories. First off, you want to take apart the trailer by sliding off this section right here, and that reveals the sword here. The sword here, this is one of my main issues with the entire figure itself. This sword, they made too big in MotorMaster's hands, and it's too small in Menasor's hands. So, I wish Hasbro would have just picked a size and just stuck with it. Or I would have much rather had a large sword with a tiny piece that came off and formed into a sword for MotorMaster, but this isn't Combiner Wars, I guess, so we're just going to leave this section off to the side for now, taking a look at this section right here. What you want to do is you want to split this half like so, and then you want to split this top half, and then that's going to reveal the other accessory. You want to transform it by flipping out the purple barrel, and you can either slide out these white handles, or you can just angle this part up, or whatever. But here is the Menasor / MotorMaster giant double-barreled blaster, and it looks pretty alright. I mean, it's got some bits of mechanical detailing, but it is pretty simplistic, and thankfully this gun is more in scale for Menasor, and I preferred this weapon over the sword. And all of these leftover components are obviously parts that are going to help with the combine mode, but as I said, we're not going to get into that. But these can combine into a little tower base thing. Yeah, the little base thing is a little bit clunky, but I mean, I guess Hasbro felt obligated to do something with the leftover combined parts, you know, just in case there's that one weirdo who's buying this not for the combiner, I guess. But to experience the full features of the base, we're going to need to transform MotorMaster. And here is MotorMaster on his little battle station, and yeah, it's a nice little plaything, but obviously this isn't what you bought it for. You bought it for either the combined mode or for the MotorMaster. Now, I do have to fully admit, I never really was a big fan of MotorMaster's head design. I never really liked how I feel like he was the most overly blocky, but over the years, as I've, become a bigger and bigger fan of Transformers, I actually don't really mind his head that much anymore, and it looks pretty good. I mean, like, it really does look like MotorMaster. I like that they got the metallic purple in the face. I really wish the eyes may have been a brighter color just so that they looked a little bit more noticeable and he didn't look as dead inside, but I still am starting to have a new appreciation for MotorMaster's design, even as simplistic as it is. And again, that design is depicted very well in this molded, design of the figure with the Decepticon logo, with the white, the black, the gray, and the purple. It's a very nice color combination, a combination of actually a bunch of my favorite colors, in fact. And I'm really happy with how this guy turned out. Oh, gosh. And yeah, I like the way how he came out. A detail I especially love is I love all this mechanical detailing going all over his knees, but I also love the mass shifting they did with the feet. The whole rotating of the foot thing to make it go from the regular truck grill to the smaller truck grill, even with the tiny tires on it. Like, that's just a very good attempt at Hasbro doing the whole mass shifting thing, because Transformers did mass shift quite a bit in the cartoon, and they actually have achieved it here in physical figure form. Like, that's just genius. I love how that came out. And again, he doesn't really have much kibble to speak of either. I just wish maybe there was a tiny bit more paint on the back of the figure, but the back doesn't look too shabby, and again, backpack is not that bad. Going over his posability, the head can just swivel from side to side due to the blockiness of his head, that's it. Shoulders can rotate a full 360, they can move in and out. You can untab this for even more range if you like. And then he does have a bicep swivel, 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. He does get a tight wrist swivel. And then he does have a waist swivel, which kind of has a slightly fragile kind of feel to it. I'm not really a fan of how the waist feels, but it does rotate and hold poses. I'm just not a big fan of how it doesn't feel as tight as I'd like it to be, and it just feels like it could break with one good snap. The hips can move forward that far, they can kick back that far, they can move outward that far, thigh swivel, bend at the knee, which bends over 90 degrees. As you saw earlier, ankle pivot, and also ankle swivel as well. And so yeah, very nice articulation on this guy. And as I said before, the sword does look a little too big for him. Wonder if he's overcompensating for something. Here's MotorMaster compared to the Impactor and that Leadfoot. And then here is MotorMaster with drag strip. So pretty good, some size difference here. I like how he's more of a slight, chunkier leader Voyager size. I definitely like that for MotorMaster. And also, you can also have that drag strip figure also on the little battle station thing as well, just to kind of complete a scene, I guess, of the whole team. But that's basically it for this review of the Commander Class MotorMaster. A lot of people have already talked about the MotorMaster and a bunch of the Combiner stuff, but again, I'm going to save that for a separate video for the whole Combiner. And, yeah, I am pretty happy with him as an individual figure. I still think he's a pretty good boxed set, especially as a little bit of a bigger premium, product for other people, even though it says 8+ on his box. I feel like this guy is still a pretty good boxed set as like a gift for somebody, especially the only problem is I'm not really a big fan of how little accessories this guy comes with, because at least with those previous Commander class figures, his oversized price tag was justified with a lot more accessories, such as how the Rodimus, the Jetfire, and all these other figures all came with blast effects. And they came with a bunch of guns and extra little bits and accessories, which made it feel like the price was a little more worth it. So that's why I kind of feel a little bit salty of the price you're paying for this guy, and I would have liked for Hasbro to have included a little bit more with him, especially since this guy doesn't even have an actual gun of his own. The only gun he has is the one on the tower, but that's mostly for Menasor, really, and the sword is mostly for Menasor because it looks way too big in his hands, but then it's not even for Menasor because it's too small in his hands. So, like, I would have also preferred them to have figured out a different way on how to situate the sword. But anyway, that is basically it for this review on the MotorMaster, at least the MotorMaster himself. And yeah, if I had to give this figure a rating, I give him a solid 8 out of 10, maybe more closer to maybe a 9. I just really wish he maybe included those extra accessories. But that is only my rating for the actual MotorMaster, the truck mode, and the battle station. Again, Menasor will be a separate thing. So yeah, that is basically it for this review. If you guys enjoyed the review, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to give me a like on the video, comment down below what you guys think. And yeah, I think this guy is definitely a good figure on his own, especially with his articulation and detail being on his own. He's really good as his own separate figure, separated from that combine mode, even though they could have easily compromised a lot of it. So anyway, thank you all for watching. This has been Briximus Prime. Catch you guys next time.